Vikings defense, very, very good. Very impressed with the linebacking core. Should be expecting some very big things. And I can't wait, man. This should really be the season of the purple, at least in our division. And I'm really looking forward to the purple really pressing Green Bay to not just back into a division championship like last year, but to really maybe set themselves apart by a couple games over Green Bay. We open up with them, the regular season home opener in the new stadium here in a few weeks. It's going to be off the chain, man. So congrats to the Vikings. Teddy Bridgewater looking good. Adam Thielen, too, really working hard. Wide receiver. He's starting to get a lot more playing time and doing it the right way, man. He's earning his keep. Anthony Barr over on the linebacking core. Harry Harrison, man. Oh, man. That Vikings D, y'all. Barring injury, they should really be a top 5 defense. And they're really going to keep the purple in a lot of games this year. So with that being said, let's get on to Goodell. Now, I found some sound. I was flipping channels here. Came across Fox Sports 1, Colin Cowherd's show, him and Jason Whitlock. And obviously, Jason Whitlock isn't one of our favorite writers for obvious reasons. But John Lynch was filling in for Colin Cowherd. I thought his sound was quite interesting. Kind of, he definitely took some shots at the commissioner. So I'm going to play a couple sound bites. Tell me what you think in the chat room. We'll discuss.
Roger Goodell has been heavy-handed, and I would say a little bit inconsistent. Now, I'm a fan of Commissioner Goodell's, but you ask a question, why are players question everything? I think guys are all right if a guy's going to be heavy-handed if it's consistent. But you look at some of the past, a guy gets 4 games for possibly maybe having something to do with not liking the footballs to be fully inflated, but a guy is on video knocking out his wife and gets 2 games. And so there seems to be inconsistency. And I think the players know that they screwed up in the negotiation by giving him all this power and that it's their fault. But long ago, somebody told me, I think it was my dad, who said, just because you can doesn't mean you do. And I think we have lost the sense that we once had that it is truly a partnership between the players and the league. It's not a partnership anymore. It's the principal calling you in his office, and guys don't like that.
Are we not conflating the issues, though? This is PEDs. Domestic violence issues, deflating balls issues, those are different. When it comes to PEDs, I don't understand why he's getting questioned about wanting to question these guys, because you're a non-PED user. You're a non-drug user. You want the commissioner to get to the bottom of this, no?
No doubt. Guys want a clean league, particularly the guys that are clean. They want a clean league, and I think they commend the commissioner for his efforts in that. But when you have unsubstantiated reports where the source redacted his own statement and said that it was all made up, and you're asking guys to adhere to some investigation based upon that, it's kind of like America, and, I hate to use this analogy, but why we don't pay money, we ransom money for hostages because somebody else is going to step up. And in the day age of Twitter, does that mean every time someone comes on and says this guy's a PED user that they're going to have to succumb to some investigation by the NFL?
So that was John Lynch on with Jason Whitlock today here on the Fox Sports 1 show that he does with Colin Cowherd. Jump in here to the chat room. We were talking, they got some Mark Wahlberg talk going on. But here's the thing. Roger Goodell is trying to force these players to basically testify against themselves, to give up information on themselves for this Al Jazeera investigation that, by the way, the author of that, investigation, the source of that has recanted, says he lied, made it all up. Whether you want to believe him or not, I don't know. But basically, they're trying to get players to come give information about themselves using PEDs in a case that may or may not ever come to light because of all kinds of issues. And Roger Goodell has really gone off the deep end. This guy, look, I ain't gonna lie. When he first came in there, everybody was down for a little, law and order. Yeah, some of these guys were getting a little outrageous, maybe off the field. need to kind of rein them in a little bit maybe. But, man, to the point where we are today, and I apologize because I forgot this gentleman's name. He was on the same show. This is another soundbite. This one's a little longer, but I want you to listen to this as well because he talks exactly about that. This is what NFL fans wanted, and guess what? They let this guy in. He became commissioner, and now almost like, Rodan, Godzilla's nemesis, going through Tokyo in them old Godzilla movies, man, just knocking everything down in his way. So let's take a look. And again, I apologize I forgot this gentleman's name, but here's the soundbite from Fox Sports 1.
And this is what I would think if you're a football fan, you're not going to like. If the standard is, as Roger Goodell in the league office is making clear, anything we determine to be conduct detrimental, even if it's just this detrimental, just a tiny bit, is suspendable, there is no upward bound on that. Like, if you can be suspended for not talking, it is absolutely on the board that you could be suspended for unpopular political speech. Like, what if Roger Goodell sends out a memo to all the players? Listen, this is a very polarizing election. People are angry on both sides. Our data has shown us people come to the NFL as an escape from it. While again, I'm making this up, but if they had data, during election season, our ratings actually go up. Interest in us goes up because people are they want to escape from, either Hillary or Trump or whatever. So, guys, we don't want you to openly support either candidate. We want to get through November 8th as America's escape from this. We think that is what's best for the league. And a player comes out and says, I am voting for Hillary Clinton, and here's why. I am voting for Donald Trump, and here's why. Is that conduct detrimental? It's conduct that the league would feel is not in its best interest. If the league wants to stay agnostic on Black Lives Matter, and Richard Sherman and Michael Bennett want to have that debate that they've had, is that conduct detrimental? Oh, Nick, you can't suspend someone from that. It's their First Amendment right. Well, it's your Fifth Amendment right to not tell on yourself. It's not about your rights. These guys don't have any rights. And the craziest part about all this is the reason Goodell is, even if you think Goodell's awesome, and even if you think he's done a great job, you concede, I'm sure, he has struggled on the punishment stuff. And somehow his failures on punishing players have given him more power on punishing players. It hasn't gone in the...
And that's exactly right. More power in punishing players. So, folks, great article on Fox Sports by a gentleman, Dieter Kurtenbach, and it's titled, Roger Goodell is ruling with an iron fist, just like we wanted. The NFL commissioner is flaunting his summer wins and might never stop. And I just wanted to read this because, remember, Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers, it says here, is wary. He's wary of speaking out about big social issues that he could use as fame to influence. Wary of drifting too far off the NFL's company line, quote, on pretty much anything. Crazy. That's Aaron Rodgers telling you that. The Packers quarterback doesn't think that this tight-lipped culture will change either. He sees it as guys in the NFL are probably worried about repercussions on speaking their mind to the league. Well, of course they are. There are going to be repercussions. They're going to go after their endorsement dollars. Contract money is going to dry up. If that fear of the shield stops players from speaking on important issues like gun violence and race relations, then it certainly pertains to issues regarding the league itself, and that's the way Roger Goodell likes it. And this writer says, we've entered into a new period in NFL history, and the league's actions Monday provided the clearest evidence of it yet. You won't notice the shift on the field, but its effects will be there nevertheless. So as you remember Monday, the league notified NFL Players Association that 4 players, Clay Matthews, Big James Harrison, Julius Peppers, and Mike Neal, have until August 25th to be interviewed as part of the NFL's performance-enhancing drug investigation stemming from that Al Jazeera sports report that implicated Peyton Manning, among a few others, or they will be suspended. The Players Association has claimed that the players do not need to participate, but the league is doubling down on its demand, and as this writer says, make no mistake, this is a bet the league is going to win. Welcome to the era of Roger Goodell's Iron Fist. And it says here, an era that we fans played a big role in creating. So definitely check out that article there. It's a little long, so I don't want to get into the full thing now. But again, it goes to show that Goodell is out there. He is out of control. Let me get into the chat room here, as I know that topic definitely brings up the heat of the chat room. Again, Vince Wright on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. I'm the sports governor coming to you from Minnesota, land of the Purple Rain defense. Go Vikings. Clay Davis says Roger Goodell stay punking the players. 90 the Wino says they are paying Goodell $34.1 million a year, so he must be doing something right. He's actually making in the low $40 million range, 90 per year. He's a lawyer by trade, so he knows what he's doing. My wife, the first lady, says Goodell is so overpaid. Sluggo the Hammer says the owners love Goodell. Players better start loving him too, or make a bigger stand. Yeah, absolutely. Clay Davis out there to the little track talk. Are the U.S. men's track team going to be shut out? Quite possibly. What else do we got here in the chat room? Sports done right here in the Stewart Media and Entertainment Tonight. Or Entertainment Tonight. Listen to me. Entertainment. The sports done right is what the Gov is trying to say. Grego out here in the chat room. Goodell is going to dare anyone to stop him or step to him. Yeah, he really is, because he's really starting to kind of thrive off this power. My wife, the first lady, says if you pay $34 million a year, you get to be the wizard behind the curtain. That's right, the Wizard of Oz. And always remember, because again, a lot of sports fans don't get, the commissioner works for the owners. So it's already kind of a built-in tipping of the scales right from the get-go. Ninja says F Roger Goodell. Absolutely, man. Grego, it's hard these days. Oh, C-Mac in here. So until they get better, being that I can go without basketball, it's fun to watch the Warriors, especially being the guy who always got cut in high school basketball because I could only shoot the three and had no post moves. Okay, I must have missed that earlier conversation. First Lady says, in the end, this is a big business. Only few get to be employees, and they all want to protect that bottom line. That Ninja says there is no iron fist. If he had an iron fist, he would have hit H.G.H. Manning with it. Yep, absolutely. That is horrible logic. They're paying this much, so we must be doing something right. Yeah. Let's see here. Sluggo, $5 billion without unity is no better than $1.1 trillion without it. Again, Roger Goodell. And here's the thing. Ain't nobody stepping up to challenge him. He's going to be commissioner for the foreseeable future. And this guy's got to be stopped, man. So here's the thing. NFL Players Association definitely, as Clay said, gave them the power, or gave him that power. And you know they're kicking themselves now for what they signed off on a few years back. Goodell is really starting to get out of hand. How are you going to make people come offer information on themselves to incriminate themselves, basically, and then go, oh, well, by the way, we don't even know if this investigation's legitimate. We don't know if it's happening. But if it does, come talk to us. Well, James Harrison said, you can come meet me. I mean, this is crazy. Sluggo says, after watching Concussion, I've lost all respect for the NFL. Sluggo, very good point, man. Very good point. Studio audience standing up for that. Man, Sluggo, I just watched Concussion myself this past week and caught it for the first time. Everybody must watch Concussion. You know,